Welcome to the Movies to Watch Before You Die podcast. I'm your host, Dylan, along with my cousin and co-host.
Gab.
And I sound a little crappy today, but we're going to move right past that because we're talking about a movie that I think is not crappy, but we'll see if Gab agrees. I've nominated the 2004 comedic classic, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Now, Gab, you've never seen this before, right?
I had not.
Good. So this feels like the perfect time for me to ask you, now that you've watched it, what's Harold and Kumar about?
What's this all been about? What am I working toward?
Explain!
As you would a child.
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle is about Harold and Kumar on a trip to White Castle. And
Did you watch the movie?
I did.
Okay.
But tell me I'm wrong. It's about these two fucking morons who want some White Castle and the hilarity that ensues on the way to said White Castle.
Well, I don't agree with the moron part, but do you want to hear what IMDb has to say?
I do.
A Korean American office worker and his Indian American stoner friend embark on a quest to satisfy their desire for White Castle burgers.
Okay, let's pause here for a second because I'm curious. You know oh, you can always tell a boomer because they always have to mention like what race somebody is. Do you feel as though this qualifies as that, or do you think that that information is that important that we point out that they're Asian American and Indian American?
I think it's important to the movie, especially at the time that it comes out, because I think usually, like, I'll just say one of the other movies the director did was Dude, Where's My Car? And I think you're much more likely to get a movie like that at the time. Or another example is Half Baked, which does have Dave Chappelle, but is otherwise three white guys are the stars of that movie. There might be one Hispanic guy, but these movies are not normally centered around characters who are of a different race, who are not white. You know what I mean? And I think that's why the movie opens with Ethan Embry's character and JT, I think is the other character's name, because it feels like that would be the typical movie you were going to watch. And then it lingers on Harold instead, and you're going to follow him.
Sure, sure. Now, I have one question. The two guys that you're referring to that the movie opens with, one of them, the guy, the one who is like, oh, let's go do something tonight. He was in an Adam Sandler movie, and I meant to look this up before we started, but I know him from some movie where he plays, maybe it's Mr. Deeds, I don't remember, but I feel like he plays a gay guy, and they're like not they like cover for him. Like somebody covers for him. Oh, no, it's Sweet Home Alabama. He's in Sweet Home Alabama. Thank you for listening. Have a great night, everyone. Movies to watch before you die.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. He's in Sweet Home Alabama. Reese Witherspoon covers for him because somebody outed him and he wasn't comfortable being out yet. So she lies and says that they were together and they weren't, or something like that. I also had another person from this movie that I recognized immediately.
He's not in Sweet Home Alabama.
No, yes, he is.
You are mistaken. You're talking about, maybe you're mixing up which guy, or maybe I'm mixing up which guy. Are you talking about the one that at the end Kumar calls cockboy?
Ethan Embry.
Oh, I was looking at the other one. JD.
No, I made it very clear that I was talking about the one who says, "Hey, what do you want to do
You said the one
tonight?"
that says, "Hey, we should go out tonight." That's JD.
Okay, well, you should have known better
And he
when I said
convinces
Sweet
him
Home
to
Alabama.
blow off his work and give it to Harold. Hence the start of our film and our protagonist.
I thought that it was the other way around. Either way, I immediately saw that guy and I was like, he's gay and we're supposed to cover for him.
Yes, not only that, he's also in That Thing You Do.
Oh, who is he in That Thing You Do? Oh,
It just says the bass player.
He's the bass player. That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, how lovely. What did he get mixed up in this for? And then guess who else I recognize? I'm about to blow your fucking socks off, Dylan.
It's a really good cast in this movie. Like, there's a lot of people who pop up, but go on. Who?
Okay. So, are you ready for this? The guy at the Ivy League school, where are they? Harvard?
No, because they're in Jersey. I think it's Princeton.
Princeton. So they're at Princeton. And the guy who's like trying to sell them weed.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, the business hippie.
Yes, the business hippie. Do you know who he is?
I don't know specifically who he is, but I've seen him in other things. Why?
He's the boy with the purple socks from Harriet the Spy.
Boy with the purple socks. Now, keep in mind, I haven't watched me some Harriet the Spy in a bit of a while.
Dylan, the last time I watched Harriet the Spy was definitely the same time you watched Harriet the Spy, but it hit me like a ton of fucking bricks. I was like, oh my God.
Oh wow, that's
Google
probably that looks like it's him. He's got
the
a very
boy,
recognizable face.
the boy with the purple socks. It is fucking him. Unbelievable. How crazy is that?
Do we have his actual name?
It's like it's something really Jewish. It's like Dev.
Dov Tiefenbach.
Yeah. But isn't that so crazy? That's the second time, by the way, on this podcast that I recognized a in one instance, I recognized a child actor from adulthood. The girl in Sleepless in Seattle, the little girl that like helps him go to New York. You know what I'm talking about? You remember that?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks' son has a girl that he's friends with, and she
Yeah.
like helps him. That girl, I recognized her from the yikes, from the TV show Girls as an adult. She is an adult in that show, and I was like, oh my God, I know her. That's Caroline from Girls. And then in this instance, I recognized this adult actor as his child role in Harriet the Spy, of course, starring the one and only my friend, Michelle Trachtenberg, who really tragically passed away recently.
R.I.P. Now, are you saying all this just to pat yourself on the back, Ab?
That's why I say everything I say, Dylan.
Fantastic. I also feel like you're saying all this just to skirt around hearing the taglines.
Yeah, but I guess you can go ahead now.
I actually have great news for you. There's only one tagline.
Can I guess what it is?
Sure.
I'm so high.
Gab, I can already feel your negative energy, and I don't like or appreciate it.
I have no negative energy, Dylan. I'm over here glowing about the boy with the purple socks.
Yeah, no negative energy at all. The tagline, fast food, high times. Sweet and simple. And you know what? Much more identifiable than a lot of taglines we get. Because I tell you those 4 words, you can pretty easily figure out what movie it is.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Which that is the tagline's job, goddammit.
Yeah. That's fair.
All right.
Okay. Well, Dylan, my guess is most people have probably seen this movie, but would you like to enlighten those who maybe haven't?
Yeah, it's about Harold Lee and Kumar Patel, who are roommates, best friends, and their quest to go to White Castle after they get pretty high and are watching TV for the night, and how they basically just keep getting sidetracked along the way, and the characters and dilemmas they face. It's very much the Odyssey, but with fast food and marijuana.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Well, what do we do now? I guess we just talk about it.
Yeah, you've done this show before. We're gonna have opinion time now.
In this critic's opinion,
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion.
I'm really, really, really interested to know, like, what about this do you love so much? Like, why is this movie on your list? Why did you nominate it? When did you first see it? What do you relate to? Like, I'm really curious.
I love how self-aware I feel this movie is. You know, this is a movie that for the time it comes out, 2004, police are the bad guys. You know, it's from the point of view of these minority characters. And I think it's really not treating them as stoner idiots. Like, you know, if you watch Half Baked, which I don't like, they're just constantly in a state of being high in the sense of they constantly just sound like, yo, you know what I mean? Harold and Kumar are not stupid people. Like they're getting wrapped up in crazy stuff, but they are not the one. They're kind of our regular point of view characters.
Yeah, Kumar performs a surgery.
Yes, Kumar performs a surgery. Kumar goes through a lot without saying anything. Like Harold is the one who makes a big show of everything he goes through. But I do love the fact that Kumar, within the space of like 5 minutes, has a nurse who's like fondling his face, a man who confronts him while he's peeing on a bush and takes note of his pubics. But I also really like Harold's character journey. And it's so clearly defined the way that Harold starts off as unwilling to stand up for himself, as too meek. And throughout the course of the movie, throughout the course of the night, he is able to really develop himself in the sense of realizing he needs to stick up for himself, how he can stick up for himself, building up his own confidence, if he can deal with all the things he has to go through. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I, always really enjoyed that from the time that I was a kid. But also when I was a kid, I was like, fun shenanigans. I think as an adult, when I sit down and watch it, I'm like, you know what? There's clearly some thought put into this as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think that there was it's really interesting how, the things that they're going through are so beyond absurd. Like the raccoon
I
or
love the
riding on
raccoon.
the cheetah.
I love the
It's
cheetah.
so ridiculous. But at the same time, there are clearly like a hero's journey,
Mhm.
a storyline. And for me, it comes down to like, is the hero's journey strong enough to overcome the absurdity?
Well, I think it's more, is the absurdity strong enough to get you to watch just another version of the hero's journey? Because there's so many
Sure.
movies that are just the hero's journey. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I was just gonna say, I grappled with this when I was watching it, where like absurdity is so interesting because there are so many different flavors of it, right? So, like, for example, I really like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which
Mhm.
is quite absurd, right? But different than this. And I
Yeah.
wonder, like, what are the differences that might make somebody like one brand? Like, why can I look at Monty Python and be like, oh my God, this is funny? And then I look at the cheetah thing and I'm kind of like, really, guys?
You know what? I think the cheetah thing to me is like the base thing that I don't find that funny in itself. I do like that they set up the cheetah multiple times, though, that like you hear it in a news broadcast and you're like, how the fuck is a cheetah going to come into play? To me, what works about the cheetah is not the fact that like they get a cheetah high and they ride a cheetah, which, sure, I think 12-year-old Dylan, when he saw this movie, probably thought that was a little funny. I think as an adult, the funnier part is after everything happens with the cheetah and Harold gets knocked down and Kumar wakes him up, he says, I have bad news and worse news. And he goes, what's the worst news? The cheetah took us in the wrong direction. We're further from my castle than when we started. What's the bad news? Your laptop with all the work you've been doing tonight is completely destroyed. And Harold's reaction of, how is that not the worst news? He goes, well, because that really only affects you. The White Castle thing affects us both equally. That to me is the funny part, not
Yeah.
the cheetah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I also, so I like didn't want to bring this up right away, but it's been on my mind, and so I'm gonna bring it up now. Um, the not that I want to get deep on this Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle episode, but I was scrolling my Instagram the other night on my little like Reels tab. Do you ever just start watching Reels and all of a sudden it's been like 2 hours?
Not often, but yes.
It happens, right?
Of
So
course.
I was in one of those where like I finished work for the day and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, there's so many things I should be doing, but fuck it. I'm just gonna let my brain rot for a little while. So I'm scrolling reels and I come across this reel of Hank Azaria doing an interview with somebody talking about making the decision to stop doing the Apu voice,
Mhm.
right? And he's talking about all of the research that he did and all the conversations that he had and whatever. And he said the thing is, at the time, Apu was really the only representation of that like that, race or cultural profile on television. And he thought that that was really cool for a while, that like he was contributing positively. And then he started to learn about like hate crimes that were being committed, and people were calling, these like Indian convenience store clerks Apu as they were like robbing them or, whatever. And like it wound up being a net negative. And I thought that was really interesting, and like it really struck a chord. And then we watch this and that's exactly what happens in this movie. They
Mhm.
literally call him Apu.
Well, not only that, it's used by the extreme skateboard punks to go, thank you, come again, which,
Yeah,
obviously was a thing we probably all said at some point,
we all
quoting
did
random
for sure.
Simpsons characters. But I remember watching The Problem with Apu and realizing like, oh man, this seems gross in retrospect.
Yeah.
You know, in a way that like it's totally different when you're just making a stereotype pastiche of Luigi the Italian pizza man, because it's not really that big a deal, and nobody's going up to every Italian person going like, "Hey Luigi, you want to beat the ball?" You know what I mean? It's not happening.
Yeah.
But people were using that one representation that is sort of based on a stereotype as a stereotype now.
Yeah.
I do like that they sort of get to hit back the stoner punks a little bit with it too.
They do, but I did feel bad that they just like left the store clerk there. I was like,
well, I assume that's why they're going to, the cops are coming after that car.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I thought they were just going because it was stolen.
No, I assume after that the cops are called in.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Yeah, I think really the big takeaway. Oh, I want to talk about Neil Patrick Harris. I have a few things I want to talk about. Number one, Neil Patrick Harris. I drew a lot of unnecessary but very pertinent parallels between Neil Patrick Harris's character in this film and Neil Patrick Harris's character in Gone Girl. Are you with me?
Maybe I need to rewatch Gone Girl, but go on.
So Neil Patrick Harris plays himself in this movie. Now, was he not out of the closet at this time, or was it just...
No, you got to realize his career is sort of dead at this point. Like
Neil Patrick Harris?
Yes, this ridiculous cartoonish version of himself was written, and this is what ends up being what inspires him to get the part on How I Met Your Mother as Barney Stinson. Like the How I Met Your Mother people were like, we should bring this guy in.
So that's really interesting. I didn't know that. And it's funny that you say that, because they kept saying like Doogie Howser. And I really thought that How I Met Your Mother was on the air at this point. So I was like, it's weird that they're not calling him Barney Stinson.
Doogie Howser was all he was known for at the time.
Okay. But not openly gay is what you're saying.
No, back in 2004, I don't think so.
That's interesting. I wonder when he came out. You know those people that you're like, oh, he's been gay the whole time. Let me rephrase that. He has been gay the whole time, but he's been out the whole time.
Are you talking about this in like a Nathan Lane scenario where we saw, the clip was going around recently of him doing the press with a Birdcage and being like, I wasn't out at the time?
Yeah. 2006. Interesting. It was Perez Hilton who was attempting to out him by soliciting scandalous stories about him. Wow, fuck Perez Hilton.
Yeah, and that's 2006 is 2 years after this movie comes out already.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Wow. Perez Hilton was really a net negative to our society, wasn't he?
I've never thought positively of anything with Perez Hilton.
Wow, what an asshole.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother, though, 2005 it starts. So literally, I think this was clearly the lead-in for him.
Wow. Okay, well, that's awesome. That's major points to this movie. Do you like How I Met Your Mother?
I did for a while, and I got tired of it.
Yeah, I think it went on a little too long, and I think the ending was... I didn't like it.
Yeah. How I Met Your Mother is like one of the most famously bad endings of recent times, along with, sadly, Dexter, which I love. And then I watched Dexter New Blood, and I loved it. And then the ending of that sucked too. And now I've been drawn into watching Dexter Resurrection, and I hope the ending of that doesn't suck.
Nah, it doesn't seem to have a good track record.
Ironically, Neil Patrick Harris was in an episode of Dexter Resurrection.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Game of Thrones, bad ending.
Yeah.
Very bad ending. Also, oh geez, what was I gonna say that also had a bad ending? Come on, Gab. Bad endings. Oh, The Sopranos. Everybody was all upset about The Sopranos.
I think The Sopranos is a great ending.
People were like breaking their televisions, Dylan.
Yes, because of the way that it famously ends, people were like, what the fuck is that? But I think like in retrospect, when you watch it, I think it makes total sense.
Do you remember, that reminds me, when we were kids, because I remember this happening at Gog and Pop's house, there was like a commercial. This may have been local, actually. There was a commercial for exterminators, and it was just like a fake commercial, and the bug walks across the screen, and people were throwing shit at their TV and breaking them.
I don't remember that. I don't know why my instinct was like, are you going to bring up the Fun Zone commercial?
No. But it was like an infomercial, like a fake infomercial. And then there's this cockroach that crawls across the screen, and people were like throwing shit at their televisions. But it was a commercial for an exterminator.
By the way, I don't know how it comes up recently. Zach recently is like, I think we were on the phone too. I don't even think he was like here in person talking about it, but he goes, the Fun Zone commercial. That chick was way too hot to have those kids. was
He's
like,
a
okay.
psycho.
He sent it to me, and I was like, I guess I see your point.
Yeah, as a child, though, the last thing you were thinking about. Now, on that note, the next thing I'd like to bring up about this film, and this has inspired me to want to potentially go back and review some previous movies we've done to see how many of them do not pass this test. But I do think that we need to address that in this film. I'm sure you're familiar with the Bechdel test.
Yes.
This was uncomfortably a failure of the Bechdel test for me.
By the
And Dylan,
way,
why don't
not
you
at
tell our
all necessarily the markings of whether or not a movie is good.
no,
Yeah. There are
but
plenty of movies that do not pass the Bechdel test that are cinematic classics.
absolutely. But this in particular, I was like a little like,
Correct me if I'm wrong. The Bechdel test is, I believe, just do two female characters have a conversation about something other than a man?
correct.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to drive the plot forward. It just needs to have two women having a conversation, not about a man. And this sort of determines whether or not there's like an accurate representation of women. Not accurate representation, a like a let me just look up what it says. Indicator of the active presence or lack thereof of women in fiction and a call to attention of gender inequality in fiction. So this definitely did not pass that test.
No, I think there's 4 or 5 female characters that I can think of that even have a speaking line in it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really think, again, that's really a big thing for or against it, but you're certainly right.
I think that
I'm just picturing you going into this movie going, it's going to be a boy movie. And the moment because I can't picture you ever thinking about the Bechdel test for any other reason than to be like, boy movie, boy movie. I just
yeah, and that's why I said I'd like
Uh-huh.
to go back and review some other films under this same lens because I don't want to be like, oh, I was looking for reasons to not like it. And I'm not saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying that one of them there are like some distinct markings of what I would call a quote unquote boy movie. And I'm obviously like using that very, very subjectively in terms of like that's what I call it. I'm not suggesting that everybody should refer to it that way, but one of the markings for me is when women are so hypersexualized and just like completely made a mockery of. And boy, oh boy,
do you
did this
feel
do
like,
that.
though, I'm going to cut you off. You feel like in this movie that I'm telling you that I think is very positive for the time and very forward with the fact that it has 2 main characters who are minorities. Your big problem is that you feel like it is not a woman empowered movie enough, like that it sexualizes women for a 2004 comedy, because they all did.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I just felt a little bit like even like Harold having a crush on that girl, it was like she couldn't like have been like really smart and that was part of why he really liked her. It was literally just because she was hot.
Well, I don't think that's the sole reason why that he likes Maria, because they've had a couple of conversations, I think it's said in the movie, even though he's incredibly awkward around her to start with. But I think it's also pointed out throughout the movie when they come across her again and she's coming out of Harold's favorite movie. Do you remember what movie she's coming out of?
No.
She's coming out of 16 Candles, which
Oh yeah.
Harold starts talking about. It's about somebody who is unwanted, who's unloved. And that's before they see Maria coming out of it. And I think the whole point is he loves 16 Candles because it's really how he sees himself and how he is right now, which I think is, is nice on a part of his character journey, that she enjoys that same movie and she has enjoyed, I guess, the same feeling.
Yeah.
But I think Maria, more than anyone, is not sexualized in the same way as, say, the girls at Princeton or Leanne, Freak Show's wife.
Yeah, so we got to talk about that. God, have I ever told you how much I absolutely fucking love Christopher Maloney?
How fun which did you realize right away that it was Christopher Maloney?
I did know that Christopher Maloney was in the movie, and as soon
Okay.
as he showed up, I was like, okay, this is obviously him. I have so many questions because why did he do it? Like,
I believe that the story is they made him an offer and he was interested, and they're like, you're gonna have to sit up in makeup for several hours, and he was like, I want to do it. Like, I think Christopher Maloney, for as much as he's like good looking tough guy cop actor, I think he loves the idea of these fun wacky characters. Because if you look at this movie and you look at Wet Hot American Summer, where he is the crazy janitor who talks to a talking can of beans, I think it is. Like, I think he loves zany ideas. He's actually, there's a sequel, Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. And he's also in that as like he's like the leader of a Klan rally. And I don't think you ever see his face, maybe except for 1 second. But I'm like, I think they just called him back and he was like, sounds fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you have a steady gig, like being on SVU, it's easy to be like, yeah, fuck it. I'm free that day, you know?
Yeah.
I think we need to take a moment to talk about how fucking jacked Christopher Maloney is.
I feel like he looks less jacked in this movie than when you see him now, I feel like, as an older man.
I mean, he just gets jackeder and jackeder.
And I feel like people just keep talking about his butt more and more. Enough that the moment that he strips out of his little work suit, I was like, how big is his butt right now?
What's the status of the butt? I just think Christopher Maloney is, first of all, one of the best and most underrated actors of our time. I also think he is just such a good example because he is so fit and so I don't know, he's like not a young man. He's never been a young man. Ever.
You think Christopher Maloney was never a child?
No.
I am just picturing him on the playground like, she's a second grader, you sick son of a bitch.
Honestly, you ever think about like, I've never seen a baby named Gary. You know what I mean? Like there's just like some old people names.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Christopher Maloney, old person name. No, but he is famously I don't think he worked as a child. Like he wasn't like a young actor. I think he's only really come to fame as an adult.
I think he is an underrated actor, though, who I would love to see like pop up in more random projects. Like he's back in the Law and Order universe, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it was fun when he left Law and Order to see him try and do other things for a bit.
I wonder if he's ever been on Broadway.
I would bet he's definitely done stage work, I'm sure. I do love too, and it's definitely a very different type of humor, the scene with Freak Show where they're in the car and he's whispering. And Freak Show is obviously the character he goes by the moniker Freak Show. So he's meant to be grotesque in his appearance, but he's talking about like this oozing boil on his neck and try to point it out to Harold, Kumar is. And Harold looks at him and he goes, do you think just because you're whispering, he can't hear what you're saying? He's 2 feet away from us. He can hear this entire conversation. He can hear me talking right now. And Kumar goes, don't worry about it. He can't hear anything, not with all the crust in his ear. And there's a perfect amount of pause time. It's like 3 or 4 seconds before Freak Show just goes, I heard everything you said.
He's never been on Broadway.
No, really.
But I would see it. Would you go with me to see a Christopher Maloney Broadway show?
I don't even need to know what the show is. I would go to see Christopher Maloney on Broadway.
Thank you.
Okay. I've watched SVU too many times not to.
Yeah, he's amazing. Did you know that Mariska Hargitay is the godmother of his child?
No, but that's wonderful to hear, quite frankly.
Isn't that so nice?
Did you know he never won an Emmy for SVU?
What?
She did, but he never did. I think he was nominated, but he never won.
God, that's devastating.
Not that Mariska Hargitay didn't deserve it, but...
Yeah, she's amazing too, but God, Christopher Maloney. Okay, so
I will say also, last thing about Freak Show, I've had stuck in my head since I watched the movie. Hey, Randy, what? The devil? Huh? The devil is everywhere.
That was insane. That was truly insane.
You didn't love the adorable little raccoon puppet too?
I mean, it was very cute, but I was just like confused. Like I was like, oh.
I mean, it's just another wrench, another fly in the ointment, so to speak. And just I think it's a line that I feel like you don't notice the first time you watch it, Kumar going, get that fucking cancer raccoon out of here.
Yeah. And like it bit him or it like somebody was bleeding.
Bites him, but it also throws up blood on him. Like it's a monstrous little scene.
It was crazy. I really enjoyed when Kumar does the surgery on the guy and then the guy's like telling him how to get to White Castle. I thought that was funny. I also enjoyed that the neighbor from Malcolm in the Middle was the guy in jail.
Gary Anthony Williams.
Yeah.
Which I think is, a really important character for Harold's journey, who tells him, there's no use getting riled up every time there's a bunch of idiots messing with you. The universe has a way of righting itself. Plus,
Yeah.
he has a really big penis. That keeps him happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do love that scene too with the cops, and the cops like see Kumar trying to break Harold out, but the racism for black people by cops is too much that they're just like, Jackson's trying to break out.
Yeah.
He's got a gun.
They're like,
That's
he's
not
got
a
a
gun. It's a
gun.
book.
Yeah.
Get the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I really wanted to talk about. And I think that was it. Oh, Dylan, we have to talk about battleshits.
Go on, Gab. First, why don't you explain battleships?
I'd prefer not to.
Who hasn't seen the movie, please?
I'd prefer not to.
Quick explanation, brief explanation.
I guess it's like a competition of who can shit the loudest. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Dylan.
Damn, Gab, you sank my battleship.
I'm going to give you some wisdom. Many years ago, I discovered this gem, right? And I want you to take it with you. You can, at any given moment, you can poop, you can take a shit, but there is only one place that you can take a dump, and that is in the Starbucks bathroom.
Where the fuck did that come from?
I just want you to know that. And honestly, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Gab, I can take a dump anywhere I need to.
No, because it's a very specific, very unique experience that can only happen when you are either at a Starbucks or are in such need of a bathroom that you find a Starbucks.
Any recent dumps you need to tell us about? Wait,
no.
I just feel like this wasn't enough. That I thought that was. I didn't think that was where you were going with that. I thought we were going back to the Bechdel test or something there.
Oh, no. I mean, those two women did have a conversation, I guess, that wasn't about a man, although I don't think it changes the outcome of the test.
I was going to say the conversation also starts with them being like, I really want to go smoke weed with that dishy Indian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fail. But I'm assuming as a 12-year-old boy, you found that to be quite amusing.
I think once again, I don't find the poops to be that funny, but I find Harold and Kumar's reactions to it really funny. Like, Harold is so disgusted by the smell that he's like hitting Kumar to be like, oh my God, what's happening right now? And the weed that Kumar just bought falls out into the toilet, and Kumar starts hitting him back. And Harold, the way John Cho delivers his, I can't take it anymore, as like, it's a sentence that becomes one word. That I love as he sprints out of there. And then Kumar's like, maybe I can hold out. And all of a sudden, there's one more battle shit, and he's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there anything that you would like to talk about?
Any feelings about the hemoglobin trotters? The hemoglobin trotters?
Oh, I did think that was really funny.
It's so nice to have Fred Willard pop up just for a minute there.
Yeah. Oh, Fred Willard, R.I.P.
R.I.P. A great one.
R.I.P.
I also love, there's a joke that they make several times throughout that I really like, and again goes to the way the movie's written. It starts off with, several times, a good example is him not being able to talk to Maria, and Kumar goes, you're worthless. And Harold goes, I'm not worthwhile. And I think there's a couple versions that they do of that, though, where, we're so high right now, we're not low. But it all wraps around back by the end to him saying at the very end, I'm trying to remember the exact phrasing of it. You might be worthwhile after all. And Harold going, I'm not worthless. And it feels like it is the completion of character journey that like they're taking the joke and turning it into the culmination of a character building moment, which I think is really nice.
Yeah, lovely. Did these two morons write this movie? Is this one of those like...
It's written actually by two white guys. No, three white guys. But it's the same guys who went on to go and make most famously Cobra Kai. And I know they worked on some other stuff too, but I'll tell you all about that. Two guys.
Interesting. In my mind, and not just recently, like always, those two actors wrote and starred and directed that movie. They
did not. And the two writers actually went to high school and had a friend named Harold Lee. And so they named the character after him. And they were like, they were working on another movie and they met John Cho and they're like, I could see him working as playing Harold if we ever were going to do it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Things that have stayed with me for years from this movie that Zach and I regularly quote. Dad, come on. Daddy is not going to come on anything. During the surgery, he's just sadding. Which I still don't know what it means, but I still think it's funny to say it. Cock boy, you're just repeating what I said back because you're not quick enough to think of a comeback. Thinks I'm not quick enough. God thinks I'm not quick enough to think of a comeback. I am quick enough. Cock boy. Like, it's so stupid, but it works. You know what I mean?
That's funny. Yeah.
And I also frequently think of Anthony Anderson. Anytime I've ever actually gone to White Castle, I think of every time you bite into one of those itty bitty burgers and you taste those little onions and they explode in your mouth like flavor crystals. Makes me want to burn this motherfucker down.
Yeah. That was really funny. Are you a frequent White Castler?
Are there people who are frequent White Castlers? I think
know,
maybe
Dylan. People do scary things.
Maybe once or twice a year. You know what I mean?
Have you ever gotten food poisoning from White Castle? Because I have.
I will say, like, I know White Castle is known for being the one that gives you the shits. Of any fast food, the one that has most frequently fucked me up is McDonald's.
Let me guess.
Breakfast.
Fuck. I wouldn't have said that anyway.
You would not have. McDonald's breakfast, I think, is the worst. And I'm like, this is what I thought, oh, I'll get something quick so I can start my day. And it's like, no, I have put a full stop to my day. I need to find a Starbucks right now.
Exactly. That's when you pull into Starbucks.
Because I gotta take a dump. And that's how Gab and I play battleships.
Oh God. So here's the thing, and I don't want to like therapize you, but I'm going to. Why are you eating McDonald's breakfast? Why are you not eating a wholesome nutritious breakfast at home?
Get out of here, Gab. I'm not here for an intervention.
Like, I just don't understand. That's
also not a frequent thing, but when I did.
Okay, well, stop that.
Now I just turned into O.J. Simpson. I didn't murder that person, but if I had. Oh, wait. Yeah. You know what we have to acknowledge too? During the Naked Gun, one of your favorite scenes was the snowman scene, right?
Yeah.
Which instantly made me think of, in Harold and Kumar, Harold visualizing his dream life with the giant bag of marijuana.
Yeah. And it had the same, like, they're fighting, you know.
It ends tragically with Harold being abusive, with Kumar being abusive to his bag of pot wife and saying, like, learn how to make coffee, you fucking whore. And then the bag of pot is crying as he's going, I love you.
It's just God.
Like, so stupid that it works for me.
So stupid. Yeah, I don't know. I like the snowman scene better.
Okay.
So why don't you give me some facts?
I want the truth! Face the facts, dukes.
Facts have no place with an organized religion.
I have a lot of fun facts, actually, because there was a really good article from the Dispatch about this, which I will link in our description. So
lay it on me.
No matter what, Gab, you're going to hear a lot about it.
Okay.
IMDb, the movie has a 7 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 74% with 111 fresh reviews and 38 rotten, an 80% audience score. It had a budget of $9 million and was released on August 1st, 2004 and grossed $24 million. The critics' consensus, the likable leads and subversion of racial stereotypes elevate Harold and Kumar above the typical stoner comedy. All right, some more reviews. Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars.
Oh.
One secret of fiction is the creation of unique characters who are precisely defined. The secret of comedy is the same, with the difference being that the characters must be obsessed with unwholesome but understandable human desires. Kevin Crust, which feels like a made-up name, from the LA Times. That Cho and Penn are such likable actors and are so funny in their roles earns the movie more slack than it probably deserves and prevents it from being just another gross-out comedy. Terry Lawson from the Detroit Free Press. At Road's End, Harold and Kumar smells very similar to the shrine of its title, which is great before you bite in and way less appetizing after you sobered up. Nick Shager from Slant Magazine. As unsatisfying as its titular fast food chain's repulsive mini burgers, Liner's film shoots only for scatological silliness. I've never heard somebody call them repulsive mini burgers.
I mean, they are repulsive mini burgers.
You know what I will say is always intriguing me about White Castle? If you know how like in the grocery store they'll sell like microwavable versions of them. The
Yeah.
fact that I microwave it, I'm like, this kind of tastes the same as when I actually get at White Castle. Never feels like a good sign to me.
No, no.
You want to hear some letterbox reviews?
Please.
First from Josh Lewis. That this was shot in Toronto, despite the fact that Canada doesn't have White Castle, is the definition of movie magic. The best filmmakers are always making the impossible possible and dreaming of a brighter future for the rest of us.
They shot this in Canada?
They shoot everything in Canada. It's cheaper.
Mm.
Matthew L. Brady. This movie is like Lord of the Rings, but if it was about fatty food.
I suppose.
James Parker. The best thing about Harold Kumar is the fact that it is the only stoner movie I've ever seen where the stoners are the normal ones and everyone they meet is crazy. If you look at stuff like Cheech and Chong, they're total idiots who smoke dog shit to get high because their poodle ate their stash. But the marvelous beauty of Harold Kumar is that they are totally normal people and the people they meet are the crazy ones.
Mm.
Last letterbox review from Jiba. Jiba the Hoot. I don't know what's happening to me. Stop showing children anti-drug commercials. Instead, show them a video of me high at 2 a.m. last night buying this movie for $12 on YouTube because I thought it was the only way I could watch it.
Yikes.
Which, another moment in this movie I love is when they see the anti-pot commercial with the two kids going, dude, I'm so high. Nothing can hurt me. As he puts a shotgun in his mouth and the other kid goes, no.
That's not a real commercial, right?
No, definitely not. Okay. The movie was directed by Danny Liner, who also directed Dude, Where's My Car? And he's directed episodes of The Office, Gilmore Girls, The Tick, and The Sopranos.
Sorry, I'm yawning. Let me start that again. Now, do you like Dude, Where's My Car?
No.
Okay.
Not for me.
Yeah.
The screenplay was written by John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg, who also wrote Cobra Kai, American Reunion, and Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay. It stars John Cho as Harold, who you may know from the Star Trek movies, Big Fat Liar, and Cowboy Bebop.
Big Fat Liar.
I love Big Fat Liar.
Me too.
My computer corrected cow pen to kaleidoscope pen. Kaleidoscope pen is Kumar, who you may know from Van Wilder, House, and Smile. David Krumholtz is Goldstein, who you may know from the Santa Claus, Oppenheimer, and Numbers. Eddie K. Thomas is Rosenberg, who you may know from the American Pie movies, American Dad, and Scorpion. And Paula Garces. I don't know if I said that right, but I'm holding on as best as I can here. As Maria, who you may know from Clock Stoppers, All My Children, and The Shield. Also starring Fred Willard, Ethan Embry, Anthony Anderson, Bobby Lee as Kenneth Parr, class of 2004, Gary Anthony Williams, Malin Ackerman, Christopher Maloney, and of course, Neil Patrick Harris. Gab, are you ready for some fun facts?
Dylan, if those facts weren't fun, then I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this. Tell me.
In early 2009, Kal Penn joined the Barack Obama administration as an associated director of public engagement and intergovernmental affairs. He left briefly from June to November of 2010 to work on a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas. In 2013, he was appointed to serve on the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities, and in August of 2017, he resigned from the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities in protest of Donald Trump's remarks about the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. Not very fun for that fact, but very interesting to see, like, Kumar?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that because I remember people being all up in arms, and I remember thinking, like, that's not that's not who he really is, right? Like, he's an actor.
But he left, he was working on House at the time, and he left to join the administration. I think that's pretty freaking cool.
It is pretty freaking cool.
As a thank you for all of the free advertising the film gave them, White Castle arranged to have collectible Harold and Kumar cups at all of their locations during the film's release. It marks the first time an R-rated comedy is advertised on fast food containers. When Harold and Kumar were walking to Freak Show's house, John Cho was unaware that there was a German Shepherd in the cage next to them. When the dog barks, John Cho shouts and grabs onto Kal Penn. It is a genuine reaction.
That's awesome.
The movie relaunched the career of Neil Patrick Harris, who won the role of Barney Stinson on How I Met Your Mother. Co-writer John Hurwitz told the New York Times that if Neil Patrick Harris had turned down the role, their second choice was Ralph Macchio, who, like Harris, was best known for a wholesome role. Obviously, he's the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
The real restaurant Hot Dog Heaven is only located in 2 cities in Ohio, Amherst and Avon Lake. Avon Lake? A-V-O-N. How would you say that?
I wouldn't.
Thank you. The producers had lunch in the original restaurant in Amherst one day and loved it so much they asked the owner to use the logo in the movie. All right, next fun fact. Harold shares a jail cell with Tariq, who tells him not to get riled up by people because, in the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Tariq is quoting the 1927 poem Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. Why did I write that down? That wasn't fun enough for that.
No, not fun at all.
But here's a fun one, battleshits related. The defecation sounds from the women's washroom scene were real defecation sounds recorded at a truck stop by one of the film's sound technicians.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, he stayed there the whole time and recorded them.
With their permission, I'm assuming.
No, I think he just left a microphone in a bathroom the whole day. He wasn't recording video. I don't think you need
obviously
people's permission for the audio of their shit.
Wow, that's actually fucking crazy. I would have thought that you needed like people to sign off on that. Okay, well, yikes.
No, if you blur their faces, you could just take video of people too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Impractical Jokers.
There's nothing identifiable from the sound of your shit. It's not like your shit's go gab. Like
okay, fine.
In April 2020, John Cho wrote an op-ed in the LA Times responding to a slew of then recent anti-Asian hate crimes. I'm going with my least fun facts yet, in which he recalled that when he and Kal Penn were on the 2004 press tour to promote the original Harold and Kumar, every single time they went through security, Kal Penn would be singled out for random TSA searches while John Cho never was. We flew across the country, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Seattle, and it became a grim routine. Flight after flight, Cal's pulled aside for a random search. On one leg of the tour, Kal Penn's friend Gabe joined us, and when we hit security, Cal was selected for a search while Gabe and I flew through unscathed. We gathered our bags and waited on a bench for Cal to be released. Rummaging through his backpack, Gabe suddenly said Cal's going to be annoyed. When I looked inside it, I realized why. Gabe, who's white, had gone camping recently and had neglected to remove his Rambo-sized hunting knife from his backpack. I gasped and looked back at Cal, who was watching a TSA agent empty the contents of his bag. It was a reality check.
Wow. First of all, yikes.
It goes to show what happens when you assume.
Yeah.
The characters Rosenberg and Goldstein are named for the characters Rosencrantz and Guildenstern from the William Shakespeare play Hamlet. The writers had hoped to create an alternate film with these characters that takes place in the same time period, much like the way that Tom Stopper's play Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead takes place in the same time period as Hamlet.
Interesting. Obviously, that never came to fruition.
I don't know if I believe that they were ever actually trying to make a movie of it, but I feel like you can tell that, like, you had that one scene where the two of them almost hit each other on the road, and they're like, we've just been trying to get to the hot dog heaven and have kept getting sidetracked along the way.
Yeah. Interesting.
Speaking of them, the pipe that Goldstein and Rosenberg smoke marijuana out of is made of a shofar. A shofar is a musical horn made from a kosher animal's horn, usually a ram, used on the Jewish holidays of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
That's fucking amazing.
As the White Castle franchise doesn't exist in the UK, the film was retitled Harold and Kumar Get the Munchies for its release in Great Britain.
That's sad.
I also feel like, though, it's so specific that it has to be White Castle. Like, if it's Harold and Kumar go to Burger King, it's a 10-minute trip down the road. It's the fact that White Castle is not everywhere, you know?
Yeah. Did this, I'm sure you probably have something about this, but did this at all like increase revenue for White Castle in any kind of like productive way?
Oh, Gab, I'll get there.
Okay, good.
John Hurwitz, the writer, was speaking on studios being afraid to make a movie with a Korean and Indian lead. We always joked around that when all was said and done, it was going to be Jason and David go to McDonald's. Okay, now all of the stuff after this is from this Dispatch article that I was talking about. So Jamie Richardson, who was White Castle's marketing vice president, really is the one who spearheaded, like, let's do this. Like, they reached out to him, and he took the idea to the CEO at the time, Bill Ingram, which the Ingram family has owned White Castle since the 1920s. They are the original owners. It has stayed a family business, and it's actually the original fast food. Bill Ingram wanted to know one thing when Richardson stood before him. Does the movie make fun of White Castle team members? Richardson told the CEO Harold and Kumar portrayed them in a positive light, and Ingram gave the okay. Now, while they were talking about, it was with White Castle at the time to see if they'd be willing. The other writer, Hayden Schlossberg, describes, we really didn't want to go there in our minds about the possibility of White Castle saying no. The writers did strike out with another real-life chain that was in their original script. Goldstein and Rosenberg, the friends of Harold and Kumar, were originally going on a quest not to Hot Dog Heaven, but to Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme backed out a few days before filming began, and they went instead with Hot Dog Heaven.
Wow. What was there a reason?
I don't think if there was, it was not said specifically.
Hmm.
There were 3 changes that White Castle requested and did receive. First, the desire for the sliders begins early in the movie with Harold and Kumar, played by Cho and Penn, smoking weed in their apartment. Everything was fine so far, but the script called for Kumar to wear a t-shirt that said, "I like the Pope smokes dope." Jeremy Richardson worried it would offend the Ingram family members who are Catholic, so he asked Hurwitz and Schlossberg to use something else. Viewers probably were offended more by the shirt Kumar wore instead, which says, "I heart Bush, the pussy, not the president."
Yeah.
It carried a crude reference to George W. Bush. Jeremy Richardson chuckled in retrospect. It was probably a lot worse, yeah. When Harold and Kumar pull off the highway in New Brunswick, they find the burger shack where they're told a White Castle would be. That's the one that has Anthony Anderson in it, who wants to burn this mother down. Mm-hmm. Originally, Harold and Kumar were supposed to find a White Castle that had been closed down. Since the company was expanding at the time and didn't like the imagery of one of its restaurants boarded up, Richardson asked them to change that. Mm. In an animated dream sequence, after he's thrown off the back of a racing cheetah, one of Harold's visions was supposed to be a dog lifting its leg and urinating Coca-Cola. Jeremy Richardson said, "We've been a Coca-Cola partner since 1921, and it just didn't seem right." Schlossberg and Hurwitz responded and recalled, "Yeah, we were kind of like, that's a relief. It would have been hard to pull that off." Now, Harold and Kumar gets released in theaters 2004, and White Castle braced for negative reaction. Jeremy Richardson pledged to himself that he would take on whatever fallout might come the company's way. The emails and calls totaled just 25. He called each person to explain. He said he didn't win everyone over, but some at least appreciated the effort. Where Harold and Kumar did have an impact, though, was in July 2004, White Castle sales were only up 3% over the previous year. They shot up 30% in the week after the movie's release. A similar boost came when the DVD was released in January of 2005. The daughter of Bill Ingram and now CEO of White Castle, Lisa Ingram, called it mildly awkward for her fellow fourth-generation family members to watch the movie with their parents, aunts, and uncles at a Columbus premiere, but I'm pretty sure some of them were laughing pretty hard when we weren't looking. Harold and Kumar, she said, or as my father refers to it, the greatest film to not win an Academy Award is an epic for the ages.
Wow.
Now, the writer just said, "Surprised a company so concerned about image that it used to handle the washing and pressing of employee uniforms would embrace a title role in the stoner road trip movie of an entire generation? You shouldn't be." Jeremy Richardson, "We'll put a competitor's name in there, and if a competitor would do it, we're probably not interested. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle put us into people's psyche in a way that made us even more magical, even more desirable. It turned out to be a fun ride."
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I just think all of that is pretty cool. And like the way that that taught me about like how White Castle sees itself and thinks, I was like, really made me like respect them more.
Yeah. Although, have you ever had a pleasant experience in a White Castle?
I've pretty much only had pleasant experiences at White Castle.
Isn't the White Castle near where we grew up, wasn't it just like a fucking dump?
Yeah, but I mean, come on. It's a fast food spot. You know, what do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, but they're talking about like ironing and pressing the uniforms. Like, bro.
That was back in the 1920s. Yeah. And they used to have the white tile floors, which they would bleach clean.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I ever show you my doppelganger in the White Castle?
This just unlocked a core memory. I vaguely remember this. Yeah.
It's very freaky that in White Castle, they'll have pictures of people up on the walls, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's random stock imagery, I'm sure. But there was this photo in a White Castle that I was in one day where, besides the hair being different, it looks like it's a photo of me.
Yes. Wait, have I ever shown you the doppelganger photo of me outside of the Serafina around the corner from our apartment?
No. I've had other people send me that White Castle photo, though. I've had people be at White Castle and be like, "Dude, why is there a photo of you here?"
Have you ever heard of Serafina? Are you familiar with it?
I'm not.
So it's an Italian restaurant. It's like a chain. It's really popular in New York City. And there's one literally like 2 blocks from where we live. Okay. And on the outside of the restaurant, there's sort of like a strip of different black and white photos. And some of it is just like regular people eating Italian food. And some of it are famous people. So it's like regular person, JFK, regular person, Marilyn Monroe, and you know, whatever. And one day we're walking past this restaurant. And I'm like, oh my God, I think that's a picture of me. And I'm not even fucking kidding. And my parents have come into town and I've taken them past it. And they're like, holy shit. Like this picture looks so much like me, it's actually fucking alarming. Weird that we both have doppelgangers from restaurants.
You have to get that over to me because I feel like I'm going to make this a clip. Both of our doppelgangers.
Yes, you have to. It's really interesting. And I even at one point put it next to a picture of me. And I was like, I'm not crazy, right? And everybody I showed it to was like, that's actually fucking bananas.
I think that's actually, sadly, the last of the fun facts I have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
But they were fun,
then
right? These were
they
particularly fun facts.
So fun, Dylan. Well, I guess there ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Okay, Cam, is that the segue to the mail?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Mail time! When you control the mail, you control information.
Mom asked me to ask you if there's any mail for us here by mistake.
What?
We only have one piece of mail on this episode, which is for Harold and Kumar. And it's going to be another segment on Canadian Court from Kyle Duranya.
Oh, boy.
We will now begin a closed fishbowl discussion on the matter.
Kyle, you're back, baby.
But it doesn't carry itself that way. That matters here.
I want to talk about something important.
Okay.
All right, it's time for Canadian Court number 3.
The arguments have been presented, and now the verdict will be delivered. Hot Fuzz is part of the Cornetto trilogy, and we didn't realize what we had when we had it. We had Shaun of the Dead, and Hot Fuzz took a gritty action movie and a comedy, and it blended those two genres tonally perfectly. Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, and Nick Frost make a movie that is wildly entertaining, still hilarious, but then all of the action beats play up all of your expectations and are just as entertaining as the movies it's parodying. This movie is so much fun, and I would say it's probably my favorite of the Cornetto trilogy, and the fact that it's not on the movies to watch before you die list is a crime.
Okay, Gab, so I ask you, do you have any interest in rectifying your crime of denying Hot Fuzz's place as a movie watch before you die? Do you think, which I don't even know how well you remember the movie because you watched it like 2 years ago. I don't know if you watched it since then.
No.
Was it funny enough? Do you remember parts of it? Do you think, hey, maybe I was wrong. Maybe that was a movie watch before you die?
I'll say this still. That was like, what, the third episode that we did?
I think that was, literally the third episode.
I remember watching that movie at like 6 o'clock in the morning in my studio apartment, like mostly paying attention because I had to go to work and like I was getting ready and whatever. I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember if it was funny. I don't remember. Like my eye for watching movies has gotten so much better since we started doing this podcast. So I would be interested to see how I felt about it now. I almost said as an adult, but
but as of right now, you're saying it's a NARP.
As of right now, I just don't remember it very well.
Yarp. Yeah.
So I apologize.
It's a shame, Kyle. It appears that your verdict has meant nothing in this court. So I guess we'll have to get back to Harold and Kumar and see if Kyle will need to be sending in his own verdict on this one.
I suppose we shall find out.
Do or do not. There is no try.
The guilty will be punished.
Sentence is death.
It's my movie. I'm going first. I feel like I can see where this road ends, but it's not ours to question why, but to do and die. So here I go down the road. All right. Did I just become the Wiz? Here I go down the road, or what? You know better than I can.
It's unclear to me what's happening.
I think I'm honestly dying a little bit, but it doesn't matter. I think Harold and Kumar is cleverer than it has any right to be. I'm going to go back. I think Harold and Kumar is more clever than it has any right to be.
Smart.
I just think like every time I watch it, I feel like I always have fun, even though I've seen enough times that there were times like in high school where I was watching this movie and I could recite the whole thing to you, and I'm still just having a good time the entire time. And I think what helped was I was just showing it to someone recently and they had such a good time seeing it for the first time, despite the fact that it didn't pass the Bechdel test. But I was like, you know what? I want to go for it. I want to do it. And to me, it is definitely a movie to watch before you die. It is classic fun, and it's a point of view we don't get to see often enough.
Listen, I can respect that. I didn't like it. It is not my humor. It's not for me. I can appreciate that it did something unique that not a lot of movies in that genre were doing at the time. I can appreciate that a lot of people really love it. I can appreciate that it is full of a really awesome cast and that people had a lot of fun and it did good things for the fast food community. But it's not my type of comedy. Every preconceived notion that I had about this film was correct. And it's just not for me. And I'm sorry. And I hope that you're not upset at me.
Can I ask you a question, Gab?
Yeah.
If Cindy Kim and the girls at Princeton had a conversation about biology class, would then it have been good to you?
No.
Would that have made all the difference?
No, absolutely not. And you know me better
up about the Bechdel test. It doesn't mean anything.
I just said, we have a podcast about movies, you son of a bitch.
Get out of here.
Shut up.
I knew the moment you were bringing that into it, I was like, I know you hated it. Like, were you looking it up in the middle of the movie, Gab?
No, but I did have a moment where I was like, isn't there a thing about if women are only ever talking to men or about men, then
did
this
Corey
is like
watch it with you?
No.
Oh man.
I know, I'm sorry.
Fine.
So sorry about that. But yeah, listen, whatever.
Good talk. Have you picked out anything?
No, not yet.
All right, Gab, then say the stuff we say at the end of this.
Welp, listener, if you want to give your 2 cents, you want to recommend a movie, or you just want to tell us how cool we are, you can send an email to movies-to-watch-before-you-die@gmail.com. You can send us a voice note there. You can send us a picture that you drew, and we'll print it out and put it on our fridge. But most importantly, you can send money to the Venmo that is in the link tree. While you're in the link tree getting my Venmo, you can find our friends at the Hall of Pods Podcasting Network and check them out. You can find our merch where you can buy shit that has our name on it, and some other cool stuff. And really, at the end of the day, we just want you to keep listening, leave a good review, comment on some stuff, and
Okay. I'm gonna be honest, you were doing great and you just faded right there at the end. But I will say, I will put up with Gab's promise there. If you send me a picture you personally drew for this podcast, I will print it and put it on my fridge.
I'll put it on my fridge too. We don't live together.
We do not.
We have separate fridges.
These would be 2 fridges and 2 photos.
So one photo you draw could make its way to 2 different refrigerators.
But you could put it on your own fridge too. That's 3 refrigerators now. And if that trajectory, it's on every fridge and God knows how long.
Did you get my text?
Yeah, I'm not looking at it yet. No, I didn't actually get it yet. Oh, wait, I did. You want me to look at it now while we're still recording?
Yeah. Okay.
It definitely looks like little kid you. I thought you were going to say it like it looks like you now, you know?
No. It looks like literally that could be a picture of me.
Yeah, the child's also shoving spaghetti in their mouth. We don't know what that kid's chin looks like.
Oh, come on. It's uncanny.
It's good. It's not
every
as
time
good
I walk
as
past
me
it.
White Castle. That
guy
could walk in here right now and Terminator 2 me and just like kill me.
I am Dylan now. I've never seen Terminator 2.
God damn it, Gab.
Sorry.
So I assume have you not seen Terminator 1?
No, the only Terminator movie I've seen was when we went to the movie theaters
and saw
to see
Terminator 3
Terminator
Rise of
3.
the Machines.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Gab, it's your pick next. You should be picking Terminator.
I don't care about Terminator.
Okay. Well,
you know what's crazy? Corey told me last night, apropos of nothing, that he's never seen Hook.
It's not as good as Terminator.
Yeah, but how have you never seen Hook?
I don't know.
You know, I might pick the Birdcage.
No, there's no repicks.
Says who?
Me. Man, who does research? Because I don't say the research, Gab. I'm not re-researching.
You don't want to we can just clip the fun facts from the first podcast and put it in the new one.
Oh, well, that does sound kind of nice.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I got to think about it.
All right. Well, until then, Harold and Kumar is not a mood watch where you die. Thanks for nothing. Couldn't have made it less obvious. Couldn't have got along with me for a little bit of a journey there.
I mean, what did you want me to say? Oh my God, it was so funny.
If it was Gab and Dylan go to movies watch before you die, and that scene where we're in the hallway and they go, oh, should we go back for it? You would have said yes. And it's Kumar who, yes, he's a little bit high, but they're just at the end of the hallway and he goes, no, we've gone too far.
Yeah, I
You
did.
turn your
I
back,
chuckled
Ab.
at that.
You turn your back.
Yeah.
I think of that scene all the time too. Like I'll be at the end of my apartment hallway and I'm like, no, I've gone too far.
Yeah. Do you know what that reminds me of? When I lived in a 6th floor walk up and I'd walk all the way down 6 flights of stairs and it would be raining and I'd be like, nope.
Is that the one with your Hank Azaria as your neighbor?
No,
Oh.
unfortunately.
Yeah, he would have an elevator.
Yeah. I lived in a brutal 6th floor studio apartment in a walk-up building, and it
They
felt
even
a
have
lot
stairs.
like
It was just a rope that you had to crawl up.
you just had to climb up. When I would get home, it felt like being in a jail cell because if I didn't have milk, it was like, all right, well, I guess I'm just not having cereal because I'm not going down 6 flights of stairs and coming back up 6 flights of stairs. So you either get it while you're gone or you ain't getting it. And if you get to the bottom of the stairs and it's raining, I guess you're getting wet.
Well, much like the milk in this scenario, Kumar's attempt is gone.
Oh,
And we're not
is
going
this still
back.
part of the podcast?
Yes, we haven't ended it yet.
Oh my God, I'm over here just like riff. I thought we
You're
were just
just
having a
riffing.
conversation. Sorry. All
I
right.
keep
Anyway,
trying to circle back to the end.
have a good night. See, that's all you have to do.
Thanks.
If you don't want to feel like getting high, that's cool with me because there's lots of people around here. See this guy?
Hey, loser.
I smoke buds with that. Hey, what's up, George? I smoke buds with George all the time, man.
What kind of hippie are you?
What kind of hippie am I, man? I'm a business hippie. I understand the concept of supply and demand.